welcome to Barre. We are going to use a little bit of light weights today, so if you have something that you can use in the 1 to 3 pound range. If you have a yoga mat and you want to use it, you can. It's not a requirement. Just please make sure exercise and make sure that you've got a nice space to move. We will be moving around just a little bit, just to kind of make sure you're not going to hit a wall or knock something over. We also are going to use a ball for one little section during our core work. So just something about this big. It doesn't have to be a ball. If you have a stuffed animal or a throw pillow that you can use just for a little bit of support in the lower back. We'll start with about a 10-minute warm-up. Where we do some combo movements. We'll go down to the floor for our core work, and then we'll finish with a nice long stretch. Just be sure that you stay through the stretch section. It's really important to stretch those muscles after we work them. So let's go ahead and get started. Come to your space. Put your feet just about hip-width apart, and then take a second to spread out your toes and just really feel your feet grounded into the floor. Give yourself a nice little bend to those knees, and then we're gonna inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let your stress and your worries just kind of melt away for the moment. Focus on your body, focus on your muscles and the way they're going to move for the next hour. Nice job. Last one. Exhale. Excellent job. You're going to take that right foot back. Just a little baby bend to that left knee. Swing those arms. Warm up those legs. Keep that chest lifted. We're going to add on here. We go down and then we lift. Down and lift. Four more, just like that. You lift as high as feels good to you. There is no right or wrong here. Just doing our warm-up. Last one. Bring it down. Switch those feet. The left foot goes back. We start with just that little swoop. 4 more. Now we add on. We swoop and we lift. Swoop and lift. Keeping that chest lifted the entire time. 3 more. Last one. And bring it down. Give me just a little shoulder roll there. Bring your feet nice and wide, knees and toes pointed to the corners. We're going to interlock those fingers, bring them up overhead. We're going to do a nice, slow circle. Take it the other direction. Think about your torso here. We're going to warm up that core as we rotate all the way around. We don't want anybody to feel dizzy, so make sure you're taking it nice and slow. One more each direction. Woo. Nice job. Spread those arms down wide. Another little shoulder roll. Okay, we're going to come to the edge of your space, and then I want you to just place your hands right at your hips where you hinge forward. Little bend to the knees, and then we're going to hinge so that we're parallel to the floor. Come halfway up. Halfway up. Think about your lower back here. Just getting some nice motion through that lower back. Halfway up. Halfway up. 2 more. Now, bring your hands down to the floor. Walk it out to plank. Walk it back in. Pressing those heels down as soon as you can to get that stretch through the calves. Little bend to the knees. Slow roll up. Again, we hinge forward. Walk those hands out. Walk them back in. Try and keep your heels in contact with the floor as long as you possibly can. Again. Walk it back in. Little bend to the knees. Roll on up. Last one. Hinge forward. Walk it out. Hold that plank. Get yourself nice and aligned here. Your shoulders should be over your wrists. Your booty should be dropped. We don't want this and we don't want this. So just a nice straight line from the top of your head out your heels. Like someone is putting a yardstick on your back. We're going to hold this plank. Keep on holding. You're going to be nice and strong here for just a few more seconds. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those knees. Sit back into child's pose. Come on up. Bring your hands so that they're nice and close together. Knees are set back away from your hips. And those hands are going to be right underneath your chest. We're going to do a set of ever widening push-ups. So we go down, elbows pointed towards the back. Widen those hands just a little bit more. Down. Widen them a little bit more. A little further out. This is our furthest out push-up. Here we go. Now start bringing them back in. Little bit by little bit. Last one right here. And one more time, sit back into child's pose. Fingertips away from your shoulders. Come on up. That is it for our warm-up. We're going to transition into arms and legs. Go ahead, grab yourself a drink. We're going to start with one weight here. If the weight ever feels like it's just a little bit too much, or if you're not really feeling that today, the weight is not a requirement. It just kind of adds to our intensity. We're going to come back to our wide plie. Knees and toes out to the corners. And in this plie, I want you to remember, we're trying to keep those knees tracking over the second toe so that you can see your arches. If your knees are coming in too far, it's going to put a lot of pressure on them. So just think knees and toes out to the corner, knees tracking over that second toe. Elbow comes up. We squat, lift one leg and punch with the opposite arm. Squat, punch. Squat, punch. Get that rotation through your torso on the punch. Elbow move that's going to work a lot of muscles all at once. Breathe. Last one. Hold it here. Just the punch, no squat. 4 more. Hold it down. Little squat pulses. Little tiny punches. Woo! Feeling that right arm, I'm sure. 4, 2, 1, hold. We're just gonna hold that squat as deep as feels right to you. Nice deep plie here. Hold, hold, keep on holding. Almost there. And come on up. Shake those legs out. Excellent job. Switch the weight to the other hand if you're using it. Get back into your plie. Elbow up. Try and keep that elbow up the whole time, weight or not. We squat, punch. We've got 2 more. Hold it here, no squat, just the punch and the knee lift. 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it down, little pulse, pulse, pulse. Really twist through that torso. 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it down and we hold. Shoulders over the hips. Can you see your arches? Take a second to check in here. Breathe. Woo, almost there. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Shake those legs out. All right, we're gonna come into just feet parallel to each other position. And then for this, if you feel like you need to grab a chair or a counter or something, even just a wall for balance, just keep that in mind because we're gonna be doing a lot of balancing on one leg here. You have a choice to put your weight on top of your leg or use no weight. And then keep a little bend in this standing leg as we lift and tap, lift and tap. Engage your core to help you be a little bit more stable. And when I say engage your core, that means act like you're about to get punched. You know, you really just kind of brace that whole area. 2 more. We're going to do that half range of motion, all the way up, halfway down. Ooh, yeah. 2 more. Can you give me that little pulse? Pulse, pulse, nice and controlled. Pulse, 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 and hold. Yowza! Hold. Keep on holding, be strong. And release, but we're not quite done. Flex that foot. Think of your inner thigh here as we take it forward and back. Forward and back. Make sure you're keeping those toes pointed forward. Work that inner thigh. Nice job. And bring it down. Nice. Shake those legs out. That standing leg got a serious workout too, so it's a little double threat workout here. Okay, keep a bend in that right leg, and then weight or no weight, we lift and lower. Keep the chest up. And breathe. 2 more. All right, we do half range, all the way up, halfway down. And here comes that pulse. Pulse, woo! Oh yeah, we're feeling it. And hold. Hold. Woo, keep on holding. You've got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the weight to your waist. Flex that foot. We go forward and back. Forward and back. Think of that inner thigh. More wobbly on this side. Nice job. Last one. All right, put that weight down, grab yourself a drink. All right, anytime that something doesn't feel quite right, you are more than welcome to take any modifications. You know your body best, so if something is feeling a little off or doesn't feel like it's working for you, feel free to sit out for a minute and join us when we move to a different set of exercises, or just find a modification that's going to work best for your body. I'll try and offer you some as well. Okay, we are going to move into a little squat series. So grab your weights, and then we're going to come so that our feet are parallel. And when we squat here, I want you to think like you're sitting back into a chair. So we're going to keep those knees behind the toes. The weights are going to come back, so elbows are pointed towards the ceiling. Then we're going to bring it up onto toes, keeping the elbows bent the entire time. Bend and straighten. Keep those elbows bent. We get triceps here and biceps here. Nice job. 2 more. Hold it here, just up to the toes. Press, press, press with the toes and the arms. Keep on pressing up, and we bring it back. We go up, up, up. It's our pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Nice job. Work those triceps. Hold it here. Keep those elbows up, and then we extend that arm. Keep your neck in a neutral position. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll those shoulders. Nice job. Little shake. Okay, we're gonna put those weights down. We are done with arms for a second. We're gonna do just a little leg focus. Make sure you've got some clearance behind you because we're gonna lift that leg behind. This time we're gonna start with the left leg because we always start with the right. So I want you to get into a back crossover, also known as a curtsy lunge position. And that front leg, the knees are gonna go in the same direction as the toes. So kind of use that as your guide to help you get aligned. Your turnout is just whatever feels right to you. It doesn't have to be here. It's probably better if it's not straight. Just a little bit of an angle off to the side. Keep that chest lifted, shoulders over the hips. We're gonna go down into a curtsy. We hinge forward, we lift that back leg. Curtsy and lift. Curtsy and lift. When you lift that foot in the back, you want it to be at an angle, so it's lifting towards your right glute. Nice job. Just hold it for the curtsy. As far down as feels good to your body. We're not in a hurry. Taking it nice and slow. All right, bring it up. We hinge. Lift that leg. Here comes your pulse. Pulse, 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 and hold. Hold. Woo! All right, flex that foot and we curl towards that right glute. 4 more. Nice job. Ooh, yes. We're getting some good glute work here today. Okay, same thing on the other side. Keep that clearance behind you. Get into your little curtsy position. And we curtsy and lift. with a smile, right? We smile through the pain. Just kidding. We've got 2 more. Just the curtsy. Nice and slow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. We hinge forward. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, 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 and hold. Hold. Keep on holding. Flex that foot. We curl, 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 curl. Give me 4 more of those. And you are done. Woo! Shake those legs out. Let's grab another drink. Okay, you might wonder, why do we use so many balance type moves? Anytime we're using balance, it really helps to develop those stabilizer muscles, and as we age, those tend to go. So we just try and challenge ourselves, but if it ever does feel like too much, don't feel like you have to do it exactly as I do. Grab onto a wall, grab onto a chair, anything that you've got that will help you feel successful. Okay, grab your weights again. This one is just for arms. It's not legs at all, but we are going to get into just a very slight curtsy position. This helps us protect our lower back. So little bent knees so that we can just kind of protect that lower back area. You're going to keep a bend to your elbows, no locked arms. We hold it right here at shoulder height, tiny little circles. Tiny little circles. Just inward, inward. We're using our core to help us stabilize those weights as well, so it's kind of a tricky little core workout here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet so they're parallel to each other, little bend to the knees. Arms come overhead, pull those elbows back behind. Press and pull. Press and pull. Keep on breathing. Give me 4 more like that. All right, switch those feet. Little circles again. This time we go out, 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 out. Keep a little bend in those elbows. Little hinge. Protect that lower back. Oh yeah, these weights are getting heavy. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it in. Woo! Nice job. We just have one little piece of work here before we move fully into our core section, but we're gonna finish up arms and legs down on the mat. And you've got a choice here in this next exercise. You can either use a weight or no weight, depending on what you feel like is right today. So if you use a weight and you feel like your weight will allow for this, you're gonna put it behind your right knee. We're gonna bring our body into a tabletop position, nice and square with the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Flex the foot that has the weight, and then we're gonna lift that heel towards the ceiling. Keep your knee and your hip pointed towards the floor. We don't want that knee to flare out to the side. All right, we're gonna do a half range here, all the way up, halfway down. We wanna keep the work in the hamstring and a little bit in the glute. If you're feeling it in your lower back, don't lift your leg quite so high. Point that toe and we pulse up, 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 and hold. Keep on holding. Flex that foot again. And then we're going to take that knee to the outside of the resting leg and lift. Out, lift. Cross, lift. Cross, lift. Nice job. 2 more. Excellent work. Bring that knee down. Take the weight out. Give yourself just a little breather here. And then we're going to put the weight behind the other knee. Nice and square. Flex that foot that has the weight. We start with that full range. Lift, tap, lift, tap. Keep the knee and the hip pointed towards the floor. 2 more. Move to that half range of motion, all the way up, halfway down. Keep the movement in your hamstring. Point that toe, pulse it up, 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 and hold. 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 Flex that foot and we tap to the outside and lift. Out and lift. Keep on breathing. And bring it down. Go ahead. Remove that weight. Give yourself just a second here. You can grab a drink if you'd like. Take a little breath as we transition into our core section. Our first little core section exercise, we are going to use something to help support our lower back. So if you have a ball like this, about this big, or again, a throw pillow, blanket, stuffed animal, something that's just going to kind of help support that lower back. You also can choose to use weights or no weights, and then you're going to want some clearance for your arms. So make sure that you've got some space as we lean back here. Those weights are going to come out in front of you. Keep your chin off of your chest as we go through this, and just think of kind of scooping out those abs, but keeping the chest lifted, if that helps you picture the proper form. So the arms are going to come out, and then we go back and bring it in. Back, bring it in. Think of pointing your eyes up towards the top of your wall, and that will help you find a good place to look so that you don't tuck that chin to the chest. Last one. Go ahead, give yourself a little breather. Woo. We're going to do that same set, but in reverse. So picture that as you're moving. It's a little sometimes hard to tell your brain to do it a different way when you've already done it once, but we're going to do that same thing, starting with arms out, and then we go in, in, in. Nice job. Keep on breathing. Two more. And bring your arms down. Give a little hug to those legs. Nice work. Go ahead and put the weights off to the side, as well as that ball. We're going to come so that your hip, we're going to start with the left hip, is on the floor. So, but it's not all the way on one side, it's just kind of half hip, half glute maybe, we'll say that. Your left elbow is going to be down, and then you're going to glue those ankles together. We're going to keep them like they cannot separate. And we're going to use the sort of side wall of our abs to bring elbow and knee together. Nice job. Lift, 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 lift. Woo! Give me little pulses here. Hold, 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 and release. Excellent job. We're gonna flip over, do that other side. Make sure that you're just taking a second to breathe in between, catch your breath. All right, we're gonna get on that right hip, or half hip, half glute. Glue those feet together again. Here we go. Lift, lift, elbow to knee. Give me 4 more. And we pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, 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 and hold. Woo! Keep holding. You've got it in you, I know it. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Excellent. Okay, we are going to move over all the way fully onto our side. Put that shoulder directly over the elbow so you've got some support. And then your bottom knee is going to be bent. The top leg will be extended. And you've got a choice here too. If you want to intensify this, you can put a weight right here on your hip. It's just going to give a little extra weight that you have to lift with your body. So press into that top foot and we lift and lower. Lift and lower. Keep those hips stacked on top of each other. And try not to drop the hip all the way to the floor as you come to the bottom of that movement. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we pulse it up, 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 up. You've seen this before. And hold, hold. Whew, the holds, man. And release. Nice work. Let's flip around. We do that other side. Same setup. Bottom knee's bent, top leg is extended, hips are stacked on top of each other. Here we go. Lift, lower. Try and keep that hip hovering at the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, 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 and hold. You should be feeling it in your obliques. Feeling it pretty big at this point. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice job. Go ahead, put that weight out of the way. Grab yourself a little sip of water. And we're going to move into our last little plank in this series. So we're going to come over to elbows and knees. Hands are going to be parallel to each other. Knees are set back because this is a plank, but our knees are going to be down. Toes are curled, and I want you to think of keeping this ab section right here lifted. I don't want any bowed backs here. Keep it nice and lifted. We're gonna step out to one side, out, out, out. We're going out at an angle here. 2 more. Drop that foot, put it back where it was, and then we do the other side. Out, 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 out. Nice work. Keep that core lifted. 2 more. Now take that foot out to one side, take the foot out, the other foot to the other. Hold that plank, lift those knees. We're gonna hold it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those knees. Give me a little child's pose stretch. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna come to our backs. I want you to just lay nice and flat on your back here. We are going to do a couple of things, so you pick what you feel like is gonna work best for you. So to get into position, your right leg is gonna cross over your left, and I want it to be a nice tight cross, knees as close together as possible. Then your hands are gonna come behind your head to support it. And here's where your choices come in. You can either stay here. If you want it to be a little bit more intense, you can lift that head up off the mat. Just don't pull on the head. Just lift and use the hands to support. And if you're feeling extra frisky today, you can lift those shoulders all the way off the mat. You choose which works best for you, or you can even alternate as you go throughout this series. We are gonna lift, tap those toes, tap those toes, tap, 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 tap. Keep those eyes up towards the ceiling, not looking down at your knees. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring both head and feet down. Breathe. Nice work. This time we cross the left knee over the right. Nice tight cross. Pick your position, what's going to work best for you, but don't be afraid to challenge yourself a little bit. And here we go. Lift and tap. Chin off the chest. Eyes towards the ceiling. Breathe. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Both feet flat to the floor. All right, we just have one last piece of work to do. This is our bridge section. So I want you to bring your feet so that your ankles are underneath your knees. I want you to keep your shoulders flat to the mat, and then you're gonna bring your hands down by your hips, but you could even spread them a little wider than that if you feel like you need just a little extra stability here. Lift those hips, and then we're gonna keep them lifted. Squeeze those glutes, bring that right foot up. We point and lower a few inches, we flex and lower a few inches. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Keep that going. 2 more sets. And lower it down. Drop those hips. Give yourself a quick 5-second breather. Drop the hands. Lift the hips. Bring that left foot up. Point, flex, point, flex. Two more sets. And lower it down. Go ahead, lower those hips nice and slow. Take a nice big breath in. And let it all the way out. We're going to move back into a bridge position, but this is going to be nice and slow and gentle. So I want you to lift those hips, roll the shoulder blades underneath, and then if it feels okay to you, clasp those hands underneath your back. Open up the chest. Nice slow breaths as we wind down. Release, and then let yourself lower nice and slow. Bring those knees into your chest, forehead comes up to meet them. Make yourself into the tiniest little ball that you can. Release. Go ahead, extend those legs overhead. Hold on behind your thighs. And then just point and flex those feet. Point and flex. Let your shoulder blades stay in contact with the floor. Go ahead, reach between your feet, grab a hold of your big toes, and open them out to the sides in Happy Baby. If you want to, you can even gently rock side to side. Hold it here in the middle, bring those knees together, and then grab a hold of the outside of your feet. This time we're going to extend overhead. If this doesn't feel good and you want to grab more of like your ankle or your calf, you can do that as well. We're just going to bring those feet a little bit more towards the face rather than over the hips. Get a different kind of stretch here. Go ahead and roll on up. Roll your shoulders around and down. Come over to hands and knees. Don't feel like you have to be in a hurry here. We're just going to take it slow. Press into your plank. And then up to downward dog. Lift those hips, drop the head, and then lift the head, drop the belly, feet go flat to the floor, fall into your Cobra position. It should just feel like a gentle stretch through your lower back. If it feels like too much, you can bend those elbows. Big toes together, knees apart. Sit back into child's pose. on up, slide that right leg forward, knees bent, and modified pigeon. That back leg is flat to the floor. Start nice and high. Let your body adjust to that position, and as it does, and you feel comfortable, you can walk your hands forward and even bring your forehead down to the mat if that feels good. Feel the stretch through that right glute muscle. Walk those hands back in. Now we're going to take that right hand around to the outside, grab and we're going to pull it back so that we can get a good quad stretch on that left quad. If you're not quite feeling it, just sort of adjust your posture until you feel it. Excellent work. Release. Both hands to the floor. Slide that right leg back into your plank. Press into downward dog. Drop, see if you can drop the heels just a little closer to the floor. And then press up to your toes. Lift the head, pull through, drop the belly, feet go flat. We bring it back to our Cobra. Knees apart, big toes together, sit back into child's pose. Really spread your knees wide this time. Let your upper body sink in between them. Walk your hands off to the right. Settle into that left hip. Feel that good stretch down your left side body. Walk your hands off to the right. Settle into that right, walk your hands off to the left, settle into that right hip. Walk your hands back to the center. Reach nice and long, pulling those shoulders away from your ribs. And then come on up, slide that left knee forward. Right leg goes flat to the floor. Start nice and high. And then as you feel it, go ahead and walk your hands down. and back up. This time we take that left hand around to grab the right foot for that quad stretch. Keep breathing. Release. Turn so that you're facing me. We're going to take those feet nice and wide. And then I want you to just sort of gradually reach out, whether it's ankles or calves or feet, just go ahead and reach out, grab a hold of whatever feels good. And then the goal here is to stretch your inner thighs. Slide those hands back up. We're going to take both hands to the outside of the right foot. It's going to get really deep into that right leg and even a little bit into those obliques on the left side. We're going to rainbow those arms so that the left hand comes behind the hips, right hand comes to the outside of that left thigh. Look over that left shoulder if it doesn't bother your neck. Inhale. And as you exhale, come back to the center. This time we're going to take both hands to the outside of the left foot. Rainbow those arms to bring the right hand behind the hips, left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Go over that right shoulder. Keep the spine lifted. Inhale, and as you exhale, come back to the center. Go ahead and sit however feels comfortable. We're going to take the arms back behind, clasp the hands, pull those shoulder blades down and back. We did it in our little bridge stretch, but change the angle of it just a little bit. Sometimes you can get a little deeper in this position. Go ahead and reverse it, pressing away from you. Bring one arm across the chest. Keep the shoulder drop down from the ear. And then go ahead and drop the elbow, the hand back behind, middle finger in between the shoulder blades. We'll stretch those triceps. Let's do the other side. Allow your body to relax, to just feel calm, fluid. Take these good feelings with you throughout the rest of the day and into the weekend. Be proud of your body and what it was able to do today. Be proud of that strength. And release. Let's finish with just a couple of neck stretches here. So you're going to take your chin and draw a half circle on the bottom half from shoulder to shoulder. Draw a circle on that top half, shoulder to shoulder. Use your nose to draw a line from side to side. And then draw a line from top to bottom. Come to the center. Go ahead and take a few deep breaths in and out. In and out. Again, in and out. This time, inhale and hold it, hold it, hold it, and release nice and slow. That brings us to the end of our class today. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always wonderful to have you,